Hello, the purpose of this presentation is to explain how I use autoethnography, public engagement and self-publishing for creativity and community building with projects such as Phoenix Rising in Gaza, Punjabi Teaching and Learning and publishing books as socio-cultural capital. As an autoethnographic researcher, I have developed a framework which I call APS. A stands for autoethnography, P for public engagement, and S for self-publishing. And I combine public engagement and self-publishing to incorporate multiple perspectives. The underlying values for this framework include creativity, freedom of expression, and compassion. The public engagement aspect stimulates empathy, and the self-publishing aspect advocates for transparency, responsibility, and accountability. I have used APS as a form of communicative action to co-create socio-cultural capital, to build bridges across communities, and also to transform my own professional identity. How have I co-created socio-cultural capital through APS? I've written a book called Sikhs of Stafford, which records the experiences of elders in my Sikh community, establishing themselves as leaders with proven success in community building over a 50-year period in a new country. This book exerts power through recording the journey of immigrants who were not allowed to buy property or rent halls for celebrations at the start of their lives in the host community back in the 1960s. Now, 50 years later, this community is highly educated, highly successful, and thriving as diaspora Sikhs. I have also written a book called Learn to Lead, which records my journey through education over a 60-year period, synthesizing why, how, and what I have learned, and also why, how, and what I have taught over these decades. I've created a record that stimulates others to be critically reflective, both as learners and also as educators. Using an APS approach has allowed me to build bridges across communities through public engagement. For example, I've created a virtual space for friends in Gaza and those with an interest in Gaza for conversations to take place at an international level to raise awareness of the everyday lives of those who are otherwise silent or silenced. One of the projects that this virtual space has supported is the Phoenix Rising in Gaza. When thousands of civilians have been killed, including doctors, educators, artists, and journalists, the Phoenix Rising project seeks to create something from nothing, like a phoenix emerging powerfully from the ashes. A third example of how I have used APS is in transforming my professional identity. 10 years ago, before I started to identify as a researcher, I thought of myself as a teacher, a coach, an inspector, and a consultant. Autoethnography has empowered me to gradually express more and more of my own spirit in my professionalism. The battles I have fought as a learner and also as an educator have sometimes allowed me to build bridges, and at other times it has seemed as though I lost the battle, but I have emerged as a phoenix rising from the ashes. For the first 40 years of my career as an educator, I taught only in English, and now I am teaching in both English and my mother tongue, Punjabi. The emergence of the Punjabi part of my identity in the world of academia in the UK, where it does not have a natural space to grow and flourish, forces me to synthesize various aspects of myself. Normally, I deliver teacher training in English. However, recently I delivered my first training in Punjabi to teachers of Punjabi in Birmingham, UK. All teachers present had taught and learnt at least one language in addition to their mother tongue, and I wanted them to reflect on the differences between learning and teaching to overcome false assumptions. For example, that evidence of teaching is also evidence of learning. Our philosophical convictions about the importance of nature versus nurture express themselves in our teaching behaviours. What happens when we teach our students to become sunflowers when in fact they are mustard seeds? Our philosophical views about the purpose of education create a vision leading to our teaching strategies and potential influence on learners. There is a broad spectrum of approaches, ranging from those who see the learner as an empty vessel that needs to be filled up with the knowledge and mastery of the teacher. At the other end of the spectrum, educators view the learner as a river with a force of its own, making its own way to the sea and the ocean. Speaking about these professional and philosophical concepts in Punjabi, after 4 decades of discussing these in English, marks a transformation in my identity through a synthesis of autoethnography, public engagement, and self-publishing, which I call APS. Communicative action through a combination of autoethnography, public engagement, and self-publishing has made an impact in my life and the lives of my community in several ways. For example, creating socio-cultural capital, building bridges with other communities, and in transforming professional identities. The socio-cultural capital empowers us to leave valuable legacies through books and other printed matter that we may have. Building bridges with other communities, such as those in Gaza, empowers us to grow and enhance our lives and the lives of others. Transforming our identity empowers us to blossom in relation to our natural, innate, and creative talent. Thank you.